Welcome, everybody. Tuesday night live stream. I am the Nose Marty. We've got a very special guest. We're not going to mess around. We're going to get him on. We've got Mark from Horse Soldier. We got the Top Jimmy with the questions ready to go. We've got the Hurricane gear on. Go Canes. I can't believe they won. I'm sure Top Dog's going to let me know how behind I'll be, and I know Slapshot's going to cuss me out, and Vic. Okay, but that's just the way we do it on here. But guys, what we're going to do, we've got a couple signed bottles from Mark that we're going to give away tonight. Just Venmo, PayPal, Super Chat if you'd like to get in on all this. We've got it there at the bottom. But we're going to talk everything from Horse Soldier to how grateful we are for this human, what he has done for us, and things like that. The distillery is getting ready to open here in about a month. It may be, maybe closer than that, but Mark will talk about that. Get your questions in chat, guys. Anything Horse Soldier, anything Distillery, anything like that. I'll try to get them up there for Mark to read. But without further ado, let's bring on the Top Jimmy. There he is. What's going on, brother?
Boom. Here's one of those two bottles right there, signed by tonight's guest right there.
Yeah. So we got that for you guys. Tell us what you're sipping on, but let's get Mark up here. He's had a long day. He had to go get his bottles. There he is, the man, the legend. Mark, cheers, buddy. Thanks for doing this with us tonight.
Cheers, fellas.
All right, let's Horse Soldier it up.
Well, thanks for having me on tonight.
You're always welcome, buddy.
Things are a little fast and furious here in southeastern Kentucky. Here in Somerset, we're getting ready for the big grand opening of the Horse Soldier Farms and the distillery and everything here. We're going to celebrate it on the 250th anniversary of America right here, coming up the July 1st to the 4th. And we're gonna have a great time here. We're inviting folks to come on out. Check us out, horsesoldierfarms.com. We're doing a ribbon cutting for the industry and media with friends and family, another ribbon cutting on July 3rd. Then we've got to challenge ourselves a little more. We decided we're going to host a pro bull riding called the American Freedom Invitational. It's the first time we're doing that.
Toby signed up, Mark, I think.
Oh, hey, I'm looking for, we're going to have 35 top riders. I'm looking for number 34 and 35 yet. Jimmy, you in?
Yeah, he's
in. Yeah, no.
I don't think there's a bull big enough for that fella.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Top Jimmy's a tall dude. His feet will drag the ground. But no, that's great. So what's the actual date of the grand opening? Is it the 1st or the 4th? Or when you told me?
Yeah, it's running through the 1st to the 4th with our grand opening event. And we're, like I said, I was starting to say, we're doing a ribbon cutting on July 1st at 10 a.m. For the industry and folks, special guests have been invited to that. We're going to do then a friends and family ribbon cutting again on Friday, July 3rd at 10 a.m. Celebrating that moment after 10 years and this milestone as a brand and everything, getting that distillery up and going. And then, like I said, the night of July 3rd and 4th, we're going to do a professional bull riding, a PBR sanctioned event. We're the only one in America that weekend. Gates open at 5. Pro bull riding starts at 7. Then at 9:30 on Friday night, we've got the country music artist Chris Jansen playing a concert for us. And then on Saturday night, July 4th, we've got the duo Low Cash is going to be the band that plays after the bull ride. And then, of course, we got to have some fireworks, from 10:45 to 11. But check us out. That's horsesoldierfarms.com. I'm excited. We're going to have a bunch of friends, former teammates, family veterans, retailers, our distributor reps, people that have been part of our journey the last 10 years as a brand. We got friends coming up from Florida that were some of our first accounts and that carried our brand and took that leap of faith with us. And just other distributor reps from across the country that are coming in to celebrate the moment with us, and of course restaurant managers and just it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a party. Where our goal is to throw the biggest small town America 250th celebration that we can have.
It's great, man.
That's fantastic.
Mark, talk a little bit about the people you're in Horse Soldier with. Those are some very special brothers, I know. And can you kind of talk about those guys a little bit and how y'all got to this point to where, you're 10 years now. I mean, so, what gave you the idea, what, and the guys that you're working with at the distillery that, like I said, are special brothers to you?
Yeah, we, there's kind of two answers to that. The military backstory of that is with our deep tie with 9/11 and our special forces team that was one of the first to spearhead America's response to the 9/11 attacks. Of course, went into Afghanistan, uniquely rode horseback for the first 22 days and united a militia army and raised them up on horseback and orchestrated an uprising and, got after it. A lot of grit, determination, all that story behind it. There's movies about that. The Hollywood movie 12 Strong. There's a documentary film called Legion of Brothers. And of course, a number of books been written about it, including the book that my teammates and I finally wrote just 4 years ago called Swords of Lightning. So there's a lot to the military backstory to this brand and where that horse and rider image comes from. But we wanted to go into business together as a group of friends and veterans. Some of us had served together from that team and some other veterans. And, we decided to start this company down in St. Petersburg, Florida. I joke it's the southern end of the Bourbon Trail. If you say it enough, people will believe it. But that's kind of where we finish off as our careers in the military and the special operations community. And so that group of friends down there, along with there are 6 of us that are veterans, along with our CEO's wife, Elizabeth, started this company 10 years ago. And really, the other part of that answer is John Coco, our CEO, and his wife Elizabeth, and Scott Neal, who's another Green Beret veteran. We're on a horseback riding trip up through the Yellowstone and rode that thoroughfare. I didn't know you could do that. They have a limited number of permits each year. People can do a horseback riding trip up through the Yellowstone. And really, it was kind of from that. Following that trip, they hit some local distilleries and got really excited about some of the small family businesses that they came across and just the passion and the craft and everything from people making vodka to rum, gin, and people, distilling their own moonshine. And so we got really excited as a group of veterans. And John became that mentor for us, helping us grow this business and believed in us. He was our first investor and kind of took us through this process and got us going. And we all kind of started to learn about the mission or learn about distilling and the different things that it takes. That's just one aspect. It's selling it, marketing it, all those relationships you got to build, which we understood. I joke that being a special forces veteran, we understood and had implemented unconventional warfare very successfully on the battlefield as part of that America's response. But being in the liquor industry, in my opinion, I joke, is unconventional warfare. You got to work by, with, and through partners from, guys like you that I meet at different events, to those distributors and I call them the warlords of whatever state or market that they distribute in. We're competing against other products. We're competing, on the shelf for folks that may like a tequila or a rum versus a bourbon. So it's all those challenges that you have to deal with, getting to know restaurant owners and managers and those spirits buyers for different establishments. And it's been great to walk into, as a small business owner, to walk into a restaurant and see our beautiful bottle right on that back bar, right? You guys have seen that. To see this label and bottle distinctly sitting on that back bar very prominently. That's a special moment as a small business owner. I have to smile.
So tell the
inside.
folks, there's a very special story behind the production of your glass and the production of your label. When you share that with everybody.
Yeah, because of our thanks, Top Jimmy there. Oh, is that, did I get that right? Am I okay? Can I say that?
Yeah, you're good. Todd Jimmy's my YouTube handle. Toby's my name.
Gotcha, Toby. The bottles are forged by World Trade Center steel. Quite simply, because of that tie with 9/11. Our friends at the Port Authority in New York and New Jersey there, we got to know them and reached out for their assistance. Really as a small business, as you're starting up, how do you get people's attention? And that was Elizabeth, our brand manager, that designed this beautiful bottle and the label and the different things that go into that to tell our story and get it to set apart on the shelf. And so it's got kind of a wider top and narrower, kind of looks like a canteen almost. But we wanted to set that bottle apart. And really it was an economic factor as well. We went to Lawrenceburg, Indiana, Anchor Glass, who was also based in Tampa. And we got to know them when we were starting this company, and invited a tour through the glass foundry, which, wow, what an art that is, where they make these bottles, and learn about the sand and everything that goes into it and making it. And we get back in the conference room, and we're like, hey, what would it take to have a custom bottle? Well, it costs $50,000 and you need 6 of them. And we're like, we don't have that. What if, let's find a yes, like we did in special operations and special forces and on the battlefield. Let's find a yes and accomplish this mission. And so that yes became reaching out to, the Port Authority. And what if we could get you a piece of World Trade Center steel? And I joke that we left. I think they kind of laughed us out of the room, and then we left on the way back to the airport. We made that phone call, and we'll get it worked out. We'll figure it out. And about 2 weeks later, like 200 boxes show up. And I joke that was, again, we figured out a yes. The United States Postal Service had a little program running then called If It Fits, It Ships for like $10. And so the New York and New Jersey Port Authority guys had taken a cutting torch to a piece of scrap steel, that they had recovered from the World Trade Center, cut it into little pieces, boxed it all up, and about 200 of those boxes all start to show up on the dock, And we took that steel and melted it down, and it's the mold that shapes the bottles at the glass foundry. But,
hey, Mark, didn't you share a piece of that with me and Toby at the event?
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah,
I sure did.
We passed it.
Yeah.
Marty and I had the good fortune and honor to meet Mark a few months ago here in Lexington at a
I sure
barn.
did. I got a little piece of that right here.
There it is.
It's a little piece of World Trade Center steel that I like to share with groups when we're doing these whiskey and war story talks. But
Marty,
the steel shapes the bottles. It's World Trade Center steel that shapes every one of the Horse Soldier bourbon bottles, and we're very proud of that. There's subtle little hints to our military backstory, the crossed arrows and the tomahawk. That's the cartouche in the top of the bottle here, right? The crossed arrows are the Special Forces branch insignia. It goes back to that Special Forces lineage. And then the tomahawks was associated with the American Rangers. So 3 of us, 6 veterans, had served in the Ranger Battalion before going into Special Forces, and one of the other guys had additionally gone to Ranger School. So it's our subtle little hint about our military backstory. I know our brand is in that ultra premium price point. Most all of our offerings so far have been over $49, $50, right, in that category. But there's a lot to it. I invite folks to check out our, we've got a Horse Soldier Bourbon YouTube channel that's got some videos on it as well. And there's a video about what I just described of the World Trade Center steel being made into the bottle. So I encourage folks to
That's
check
kind of
that
what
out.
Mark's asking you here. Was the World Trade Center steel used to make the stamp for the metal label?
The metal label is just that. It's a metal label. I appreciate folks' help with that. Think about that for just a minute. That's a finite resource, and we would run out, right? If every label on the front of that bottle was actually World Trade Center steel. It's not. This label here is just a metal label. And I know we were one of the first bourbon brands to utilize a metal label. That was something Elizabeth, our brand manager, appreciated from the wine industry and wine bottles, wine brands.
Oh yeah.
But it's a kind of a play on words of metal, you know, as well as the metal of the people who are behind this brand and the story behind it, and our customers as well. You know, every customer's got a story as well, just like many of us veterans. All of us don't always get the opportunity to tell our story. So I feel very honored and blessed that my team has had the opportunity to share about our unique experiences and share some of our story. And I'm also very proud of the fact that I think it's helped bring some awareness to the story of everyone, not just other veterans at this time, but everybody in these audiences. You know, you guys have got a story. Everybody I've met when we're traveling doing these, our brand reps, our distributors, you know, those young men and women, they're all on a journey. And we're proud to be a small part of that, and I appreciate the challenges that everyone in their life has to overcome, the little victories, and celebrate the special moments. You know, we all find that grit that's within inside of us, right?
Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah, so if we're talking about story, the night we met, I think you were supposed to present for maybe 60, 90 minutes, and I think it turned into 2 or 3 hours. And
His family had to come get him.
His family had to come drag him out.
Family too.
But the thing that blew me away was, I mean, there was probably 20 people there, and I think you intentionally gave a presentation that was, you know, it was about bourbon and it was about Horse Soldier, but it was as much about service, you know, and your special forces service and background in that. And I thought it was really interesting because 60-70% of the questions that people asked were about service and not only what it meant to you, but your specific background. But so if I remember correctly, your A team was the first into Afghanistan after 9/11, and your team had to learn a skill that at the time most Green Berets didn't possess. What was that skill?
Yeah, riding horses. You know, I grew up on a cattle ranch in Kansas, and had rodeoed through as a little kid and showed horses and rodeoed in high school. There's about half a dozen families in that community, and the parents would take turns taking us kids to rodeos across Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, and Iowa, and in Oklahoma on the weekends, you know. But I had one other sergeant that grew up from South Dakota on that 12-man team that was called to serve in that historic moment in our history. And the other 10 guys on the team had never been on a horse in any significant manner. We joked that they had quarter horse training. You know, mom and dad took them to the carnival when they were a kid, and they rode the little ponies in a circle. You know, these are grown men, you know, finding themselves in a very unique moment in history, in the 21st century, being asked to step back in time, it seemed, to ride horses, and merge that form of mobility and military tactics that our partner force had in the mountains of Afghanistan, and merge that with our, you know, 20th century weapons, you know, AKs and RPGs, and then 21st century technology that our team brings in with satellite capable radios and GPS and night vision and laser designators and things and figure it out. You know, the U.S. military had not ridden horses in combat since 1942.
Damn,
And there was no doctrine.
There
was, did I take one of the questions away from you?
No, I was going to do that as a trivia question because you got me and Toby because we.
Yeah, you got us both.
Yeah, I got you. I get a lot of people on that. Everybody thinks, yeah, okay, yeah, the Civil War, World War II, or World War I, and then they maybe jump to Korea because they heard about Sergeant Reckless, you know, the famous Marine Corps horse, you know. But only a few people know about our history that we actually had in World War II, the 26th Cavalry in the Philippines. Charged on horseback against a Japanese unit. I didn't know that history. I found out about that history after our mission when a representative for a Lieutenant Edwin Ramsey, who at the time in World War II was, that cavalry troop commander and had led that mission and was awarded the Silver Star and, survived the war fighting alongside the Philippine resistance during the Bataan Corregidor campaign and later with his Filipino scouts. And he became an honorary member of the Special Forces Regiment. So when I went through training, in our training facility, there's, historical images, and little brief write-ups, a year, a name, a place, something like that of our distinguished members of the Special Forces Regiment. And I remembered suddenly there was a Lieutenant Colonel Edwin Ramsey. I didn't know that connection until after our own historic mission, probably in 2002, that a representative from him reached out. I got to speak to him on the phone. That was a very special moment. The guys had to figure it out. We're riding horses in the mountains in the foothills of the Hindu Kush.
And it was a recon.
You mentioned that. Sorry, you mentioned that you have since written your own story. You and the guys have written your own book, and there was a documentary. But of course, the story was made immortal by Hollywood, and. I don't know how many people have seen the movie 12 Strong. Tell us, a little bit about, this right here and how this came to.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
They got the ugliest guy in Hollywood to play Mark.
Yeah.
So not only,
no, they did. It's come on now. That's I don't think I could have picked a better person to portray me in the film, right?
You know what?
Right?
You have every right to say that.
If I had a choice, and I didn't have a choice. So, no, it was great to get to meet Chris Hemsworth and Jerry Bruckheimer briefly as they were filming the movie 12 Strong. Got to meet a number of the actors from that portrayed all the guys on my team and some of our Afghan counterparts and we got to be on set for about 3 days. It was amazing. It was exciting to get a little glimpse into, their world and get to meet Chris briefly and Michael Shannon and Michael Pena. And if I keep Austin Hubert, if I keep going, I'm going to miss some of the names. Rob Riggle.
That's right. Yeah,
I know. Rob Riggle. Yeah. Rob had a tie to our team. Actually, Rob was a Marine reservist and it got mobilized, and somehow ends up being the public affairs representative for our Special Forces Battalion and sent into Afghanistan. So by December of 2001, as my team's kind of wrapping up and we're getting ready to leave, then we had a small headquarters in a school there in Mazar-e Sharif, and we meet a Marine in the hallway, and I'm like, "Are you lost, sailor?" He's by himself, and it's Rob. He got tasked, he got mobilized and tasked to be the public affairs representative and assigned to our unit. But yeah, it was a very special moment to reconnect with Rob. On the set at 12 Strong, he portrays the colonel he was working for, our battalion commander, and have met Rob several times over the years and wish him well on his journey, and love watching his movies. I think my boys have even met Rob at different events. I think they can recite nearly every movie that Rob's been in. But yeah, so it's what can I say? Being on the set, they filmed that out in New Mexico in White Sands. I think they did an amazing job. I think there's so much more to the story, the real mission and everything. I think it could be honestly a Netflix miniseries. 12 Strong portrays the first month of that mission on horseback, kind of the Wild West phase. And then it gets into, we no longer needed the horses. And then we had ATVs and, local Toyota Hilux, pickups and SUVs that we procured. And we were another 45 days of combat operations around the northern provinces.
Hey Mark, I got a question. I wanted to ask you this when we saw you in April, but when y'all first got there and, you met up with the guys that were already there, I don't know how you would describe those guys that were already doing recon. They were I don't know. You told us the group they were with. Did you have a language barrier with them when you first got there?
With the militia partners? Yeah, we had some language challenges. In special forces, you're taught languages, unlike most of our other special operations units. They're going to, in special forces as a Green Beret, they're going to select you to work by, with, or through local partners. And so we can do a lot of things all the other units can as a corps, from special reconnaissance to direct action. But really what special forces focuses on is primarily is unconventional warfare and foreign internal defense, where you're going to work with a partner. In peacetime, that's what we call foreign internal defense. You're trying to make that partner more capable. In unconventional warfare, we knew that type of mission that we were assigned. It meant, we're going to work by, with, or through a local partner to try to accomplish that objective. So to help task them to conduct reconnaissance and gather intelligence, to help them perform sabotage on the battlefield against our common enemy. And just empower and enable and resource them to make them more capable. And so the language barriers, as I said, for me personally, I had basic Russian, for 6 months. Some of my other sergeants had that, but most of our sergeants, because our unit focused on the Middle East there, the 5th Special Forces Group, we had about 5 of the guys were very fluent in Arabic from their many trips. So languages were, yes, a challenge. In working through in the deeper conversations, we had our CIA teammates there. A couple of those guys were very fluent in the local languages in Uzbek or in Dari. And but we worked with some very brave individuals, some local Afghan interpreters that became very critical to our success in there. And, just some young men that stepped up. They were learning English, trying to better their lives or have a better future for them and their family, and became absolutely critical to our safety and our ability to coordinate with our local militia partners.
Mark, I want to ask you one thing about the movie, because I think when me and Toby had you cornered in April, we were talking about the movie a little bit. And did you tell me and Toby that the movie is pretty spot on, other than like a battle scene or something at the end? Did they fix that? I can't remember what you told us.
No, there's, the scene, everything in that movie happened to a special forces team. No doubt. I know it did, from knowing some of the experiences other teams had. just not everything happened to our team in that.
An amalgam.
You know, it's hard to depict. You know, we'd conduct a lot of operations at night, right? It's kind of hard to depict, you know, a helicopter rescue, you know, when it really happens completely at night, you know, blacked out, you know, on night vision goggles. So it's, yes, our chief warrant officer hurt his back, but we didn't experience suicide bombers, you know, at that point. They weren't quite in vogue yet until a couple of years later, as those bombers migrated from Iraq back to Afghanistan. But again, but all that kind of stuff happened to other special forces teams. You know, we just we were worried about that. We call it a green on blue, potentially, where your partner force may be forced under coercion or whatever, manipulated to attack the American partner. And we were aware of that, but we never experienced that ourselves, fortunately, in the conduct of our mission. Now, that started to happen later, you know, tragically in some instances. But
I want to ask you something. For me and my family and everything, and I know I speak for everybody in the chat, I can't say thank you enough for what you all did for everybody that was involved in 9/11. And I know some of the details you told me and Toby, that just, you're I don't know, man, the first that got there to represent the families and get this whole thing going. I could talk about it and ask you questions all night long, and I don't want to be rude and start asking you distillery questions, but I want to.
Yeah, let's get into the distillery stuff a little bit. We can go back and forth, kind of like we did that event with you guys that night.
I do not want to come across rude and try to change pace, because I mean that this is one of the most fascinating things I've ever heard, and
I want to say one thing before we move on, because I would
be honest.
You know, it meant a great. Marty and I didn't know who was going to do the presentation when we came back to Liquor Barn that evening, and it blew us away. And it meant a lot to me. My brother is spent 12 years in the 10th, and there was weeks, months at a time where we didn't know where he was and if he was okay. And at that time, my brother's 8 years older than me, and at that time I was 10, 12, all the way up through high school and that. But so there were large chunks of that time we didn't know where he was, what he was doing, if he was okay, if he wasn't. And so it means your service, it means a great deal. As I reflect back on those 12 years of, you know, not having my big brother in my life.
I appreciate that. You said he served in the 10th Special Forces Group?
Correct.
Right on.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, shall we raise a little toast to your brother?
And you too, sir, and your team. Yes. Absolutely. So
what are you guys
we've got a bunch of.
What are you drinking? Which one you got?
I've actually got I've got 3 or 4 samples here that somebody had sent me of various single barrels of your barrel strength, and I'm just working through those, and they're delicious. You know, frankly. So we got a bunch of whiskey nerds in chat and a bunch of whiskey nerds watching. Talk to us about mash bills and tell us what you can. I know you can't be completely, you know, there has to be some secrets on some of that kind of stuff, but tell us what you can.
Well, I'm sipping on a little bit of everything here tonight. Let me start this way. My flavor profile is a wheated bourbon. That's what I prefer. We are a wheated bourbon company. I feel like those were our first products that came out. That's what we went for. You mentioned you're sipping on some of our barrel strength bourbon. If you see that out on the shelf there. That's our weeded bourbon. It's aged up 5 to 6 years. And most of what we got on the shelf now, you're going to see in stores, it's going to range in proof between 100 and probably 20 to 124 is the most common. I have seen some anomalies of 126, 127 proof that's out there in some of those. But that's my personal preference. I like that one on a big rock and just let it chill and open up. About a third of the recipe is red winter wheat in that. A little barley. My more frequently consumed of those is that similar product that is our signature small batch. That's the one that's going to be in the gold label bottle. It's 95 proof. That was a subtle way to honor our Special Forces team that was known as the 595 team. So that is a favorite for several reasons and more frequently consumed. Personally, I like that one because I can drink it neat or on the rocks, or I can pivot to cocktails with it. It's
so on the bottle that you signed, you can see 595. Now, remind me, what is ODA?
So ODA is Operational Detachment Alpha. That's how our Special Forces teams are numbered or designated, and that number meant at the time 5th Group, 9th Company, 5th Team within that company. So anyway, that's just a subtle nod to our Special Forces team and being at 95 proof and a signature small batch weeded bourbon. Again, those are 5 to 6 years old. Both those bourbons are double gold winners out of the San Francisco Spirits Festival. They won double gold in their categories in 2022. So we're very excited about that. And then our other product that I think I saw you had is our premium straight. It's our 3 to 4 year old high rye bourbon. About a fourth of the recipe in this one is rye, and this one's bottled at 87 proof. That was our first double gold winner in San Francisco Spirits Festival in 2019. Our premium straight is actually our most awarded. It's a double gold. It's won twice in San Francisco, 2019 and again in 2022. We started making our spirits in Columbus, Ohio, at Middle West Spirits up there.
That's right.
Getting up there, learning renting time on their still in that co-op, and working with Ryan, their master distiller and owner, and I joke about with some of my teammates there. I mean, that's us. We're bottling up, humping 50-pound sacks up and down stairs and getting it milled up and dropping it in and getting it, fermented and everything, getting that going and making that bourbon. It's those were days long in the past. Now it's still good. It was part of, you're learning every aspect of the business that you can. And as we were doing this, that's why I joke, if you come across one of our bottles, it's got a crooked label on it. That's because my kids actually came and helped put labels on our bottles, But very proud of all three of these bourbons that are our core offerings. I know you guys, I heard you talk about earlier, you've got maybe some of our barrel picks that are out there.
They're very popular in our community.
Yeah, they're going to be our black label
10-year
with
picks.
those. But we had it. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? There you go.
Yeah.
Now,
if I remember,
that proof on that one, Marty, was what, like 132 or something?
135.6 on this one, and my other one is 136.8.
Yeah. So we had a range of these barrel picks last year that were in those mid to high 130s. It's we still got some of those this year for some customers if they want to come in and pick some of those, but we're really kind of pivoting our barrel picks to our weeded bourbons that are 6 to 8 years old now, in that range. If a customer wants to come in and pick one of those barrels, here in Kentucky with us, or if they're able to get it through our distributor, and you'll probably start to see some of those barrel picks out in stores this fall again, right as always happens right before the holidays. So,
If I remember, the 10 years is sourced from an undisclosed
Yep.
distillery, correct?
yes, it is. It's a high corn bourbon, 10 years old, and it's in that high proof. It's I think don't let the number deter you. I think some of I don't know what you guys think. You probably got about the range of them that I do. I absolutely enjoy those as well on a
Yeah, they don't
either
drink their
neat,
proof.
even neat in 130. Again,
Mhm.
don't know the number and just try it, test it out, and see what you think. Yeah, I see somebody set up had hazmat or got sent to a certain store. Yeah, there were some that got into the 140 and were higher and got released, and stores wanted them, and then some lawyers got involved, and we realized we had to pull back from that, and that's why most of them now are under 140 that we released.
Things change when you cross the 140 mark, legally?
Yeah, it's just part of. I'm trying to remember. It's an industry kind of agreement guideline right now that
Okay.
not to do the hazmat over 140, and get it up higher. So that line we were told was right there at 140, as I understand it. So some of those barrels did get released in the 140s, and then they're enjoyable. I hope folks enjoy them, but most of these releases we're going to have now, that they were in the high mid 130s, and most of this year's what we're doing for single barrel picks are going to be in that mid 120 range.
How did Horse Soldier decide to land in Somerset? Trey said.
Yeah, appreciate that question, Trey. We, as we're growing this brand, we knew to be sustainable long term, we need to have our own distillery. And as we're growing very quickly, everybody's like, it's got to be in Kentucky, right? And I think the guys were on a show like this and heard us talking about our longer term goal as a business, that we wanted to have a forever home in Kentucky. And a group of folks in the Somerset, Kentucky area and Southeast Kentucky, they heard us on the radio, and I think it was their mayor, Alan Keck. He sent us an email and invited us to come check out their community here. And we looked at other places, in Louisville, Lexington, Bardstown, Western Kentucky. We looked here, but coming to Somerset just kind of felt like coming home. There's a lot going on here in this rural community, and it's just, I grew up in a small town in Kansas, and enjoy coming here to Somerset. So that kind of started this relationship. We started visiting the area and getting to know folks out here, and there's a lot of other business reasons here too, with Lake Cumberland right here. They pull almost 5 million visitors a year to the lake. And to be in some of the bars and restaurants here in Somerset and around the lake community and across Kentucky, and they get a lot of Ohio and Indiana and Illinois and folks from Tennessee and Georgia that come here to this lake. So it's we're proud to be a small part of it, and everything's going on here with economic development and everything that's happening here around the Somerset, Pulaski County area of Kentucky.
It makes complete sense. I've visited Somerset several times with the wife as you've just been out exploring in Kentucky, and it is an absolute delight. Small town, Kentucky. It's beautiful. When I heard you guys, when we heard in April that's what you settled for your forever home, it was like, oh, that makes such sense. It's a great town, but yet you're not treading the path already traveled.
Right. We're not afraid to be off on our
own.
You're exactly right, Toby. We're not afraid to be off on our own down here, and we're 90 minutes to Lexington, like 2:10 to Louisville. We're 2.5 hours from Nashville. We're 2 hours from Knoxville. There's a lot of other reasons for being here. Just from you got the water coming out of Lake Cumberland. We got just the power, the energy efficiencies that are here because of the Army Corps of Engineers dam and some of the other power plants and other things that are right here in this area. So
I got a question.
At
Go ahead, Toby.
at your new facility, I know visitor center. I think you're going to have a restaurant, correct?
He's asking it for me. Keep going.
But
gotcha.
my thing and distillery and kind of a 2 or 3 part question here is tell us all of what all we will see there. But I also want to know how you're going to transition your distilling from whether it be from sourcing or from distilling at other distilleries, contract distilling, to your own distillery.
Yeah, so we're working through all of that. But I'll take that in bites. So 5 years ago, we opened a partner company called the Urban Still House. It's a fine dining restaurant and saloon that showcases the Horse Soldier Bourbon brand. We opened that down in St. Petersburg, Florida, again, where we started the company. And it became and continues to be, after 5 years now, going on 6 years, one of the top Tampa area fine dining restaurants and saloons. And that company then has opened, I think we're through our first year, year and a half ago or so. They opened an Urban Still House in Somerset, Kentucky. Now it's downtown off the square, and it's one of the fine dining restaurants here in Somerset, in this part of Kentucky. So we got a lot of folks coming in from all over to check that out. On the distillery, folks are going to see that we will. We're having the 4th of July opening, right? We had to have it on the 250th anniversary, but we're still finishing things off. It's probably going to be, November, December before we get that first drop made here. We got to go through commissioning phase of that distillery. They bring in, all the technical reps and help us pressure test and clean and check everything and, get through that phase. And then we're going to start to make that bourbon here. So we are literally right down to the molecule, working hard with our chemical engineer and our master distiller, Ryan, that's here. We're going to be diligent in everything we can do to ensure that quality continues with the bourbons that we're making.
Are you gonna stick with the mash bills you've been sourcing, or are you gonna do something different?
These are our mash bills that we prefer. They're going to continue to make those for us for the foreseeable future as we go, right? Because our youngest product is 3 to 4 years old,
right? So
it's our partners. We're going to keep working with them for the foreseeable future. Now we're also looking for contract distilling. This thing is a bulldozer. We swung for the bleachers, definitely. And we're looking for partners, folks that want to come in and let us make their liquor, whatever that may be, rum, gin, vodka, other whiskey, whatever that may be. We're entertaining some of that as well, and having some people in to visit.
Hey, Mark, question. People are hitting up in the chat. They love your hat. They love your shirt, all this stuff. Is there going to be merch available on the website?
Yeah, there's merch available on the website now.
Okay.
And we will have, I think this next week, well, better be, we're under 14 days. Yeah, there you go. There's the merch on our website. We got apparel, we got ball caps and t-shirts. We've got cigars. People ask me if we have a cigar brand.
Wow.
We've got some JC Newman, Arturo Fuentes cigars, 3 different ones that match our core bourbons. We still got to figure that out. We're only distributed through our own restaurant with the cigars, or through this website, or with Army Air Force Exchange. You can find those cigars at some of the installations. But got barware, we got corporate gifts, we got glassware and different things. We've even got some sauces. We've got a barbecue sauce, a hot sauce, and a maple syrup. and we've got a coffee as well. But we will have a retail store is what I was trying to get to, is that's going to be opened up on the property. So folks can come in and visit us. We're inviting folks to come out to the Horse Soldier Farms. You know, it's like a 240 acre property. It was a former golf course. It's very beautiful with rolling hills and trees and everything. And we're, the community asked us if we could open up some of that for hiking or mountain biking trails or e-bikes, or maybe even some Frisbee golf course. I understand that's a growing sport here. Somerset, I was told, is a Frisbee golf destination.
So Frisbee golf and pickleball in, people will never leave.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're so popular right now.
Yeah, but we're inviting people to come and stay, come check out the community and come check out the lake. I mean, there's ATV off-roading. We're 30 minutes from the Daniel Boone National Forest. I'm excited about being here to explore other parts of this beautiful state. I've had the opportunity to drive through here, cut south down to Chattanooga, and you get south of the lake, and it's pretty remote. It's rural. I love it. You can hear the banjos, and
I've got grandbabies in Chattanooga, so I know all about it.
But just to see this part of the country and cut across it, driving down to Chattanooga, it's just a beautiful, beautiful part of America.
So you said 2 hours from Knoxville?
Yeah, we're roughly 2 hours northwest of Knoxville.
Okay, that's not far when we go back home. So we've got some Northeast Tennessee people in the chat. So
Somerset's not too far over the border between Tennessee and Kentucky.
No.
Yeah.
But, what else on the property? Yeah, we're looking, people can come and picnic on the property if they want, do outdoor wedding photos. We got a beautiful rock bridge on the property. I think we got 3 or 4 ponds, larger ponds on it. Like I said, it used to be a former golf course. So we're looking forward to having, some horses on it at some point. And I've had the opportunity to trail ride with some horses with some local Somerset folks. Took me riding on the property there. And I saw somebody mention earlier about the Summer Nights Cruise. That's the big car cruise group. They come in once a month and have a big car show in Somerset. I know they got one coming up here June 28th or 27th, I believe, that weekend right before the 4th. But they jumped. I don't know if you heard about that. They jumped at General Lee. Over the Somerset Fountain last summer, and it blew up. They said they had 30,000 people show up for that. I unfortunately was working. I was at a bourbon promotion in Memphis the night prior, so I missed the big jump, but I heard all about it.
It's all over YouTube. You can find that video on YouTube all over.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like a kid again when you see that car jumping.
Mark, how long? Because I'm going to go ahead and try to get this going now, because it's kind of what I do, because I love it. After the distillery's open, I know it's you need time to get everything going, set up, get the wheels greased, let everybody know their role. How long after the opening will you be able to let people come in and do single barrel picks on site?
We can probably do those
pretty quick.
I know we've had some customers coming in and picking some already. But a lot of them, we're being flexible. People want samples. You mentioned that earlier, Toby. Maybe you got some hands on some samples. We've sent some samples out to people that are interested.
The samples I have are from folks in the community that have bought. We all share 1 and 2 ounce samples of the bottles that we've bought. And
gotcha.
your 10-year single barrels, there's this, whiskey tube cult following behind that particular expression, and we're all sharing those things all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly popping up at different places. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Different stores, different states got those barrels, and it's interesting to see the range of those. I think most of that hazmat, somebody mentioned earlier, that ended up out in, I think, Montana and Nevada. Like those lasted literally hours and they were gone. With the stores wanted them.
I got to try one
out there, but we've got our distributor reps with different stores, have got samples in different states, and they're talking to those buyers at different liquor store chains and things. So again, that's all happening now. That effort's underway. They got their samples and they're making their selections, and the intent, as I understand it, those bottles should get delivered in October timeframe. All those barrels get shipped for that. But we've had nonprofits,
leave that up, Marty.
Some folks come in and are wanting to pick a barrel as well. So we're excited. I've had recently, let's see, we had Ohio came in, and Kentucky's had some people come in and pick barrels, and Texas sent a contingent up. That was a fun day. They had some of them have lunch at the Urban Stillhouse, and then before or after, and then they'll do the barrel pick. Others, we did a picnic on the property for them, and we tasted them outdoors, a free ranging bourbons, right? Out on the property, and rode some horses and some ATVs, and had a good time.
Mark, there's a comment below. I want you to see this one. This is from one of our best friends and a veteran. Love what Horse Soldier's all about. Much respect to those bearded bastards being on the ground early and getting it done. We were on the ground fairly early before the big push happened.
So Dan is Dan's former Force Recon Marine, a veteran and a combat veteran from the Middle East.
Right on, Dan. Appreciate you, sir.
And he is one of the very finest individuals in our whiskey family.
Well, we're we've had some LTOs. You might have heard about this one, our Liberty, this beautiful bottle. That came out, a big push about that. That was a special 13-year-old 100 proof. With that bottle, went very quickly in different stores. You may still be able to find it. I don't know, but
not around here.
Yeah,
not around here.
They literally, I may have got 20 to 30 bottles in an entire state. So that one went very quickly.
I think there was one or two that were there that night when you were in Lexington.
Yeah, they did. They had that.
They were gone by.
Yeah.
They sold during the presentation.
Yeah.
As did the single barrel picks. And so Andrew, the store director there at that, did the wise thing he always does, because he's such a great manager. He brought in all from all the other liquor barns. He has most of those 10-year single barrel picks at his store, because he knows he can sell them. And especially following the event that you did.
Yeah. It's been amazing to do some of these events. They get the word out, and to the different groups and fans that are in the community. And we've literally, my teammates and I that work for the company that travel around nationally to do these activations and promotions. We started the term years ago, a bourbon riot, because it was stunningly, we were blowing through 10 to 20 cases, and we've had events we've blown out 50 cases of bourbon. It literally turned into a bourbon riot at different events as we've been doing this. So it's been a lot of fun as our brand's grown, and like I said, just meeting people all over, and getting out and talking about life and challenges and the next chapter of our journey here, which is this bourbon brand, trying to grow a legacy and be sustainable and as a brand, and take it, through being a startup into a sustainable company going forward with the tourism aspect. Now that we're going to have our own facility here.
Gunhand's got a good question, Mark, for you. He goes, once you get going, are you planning on doing some distillery only releases? I guess that's like your own stuff
yes.
down the line.
Yeah, we are. I'm sure there will be as well with some of those. I'm probably going to get in trouble right here.
Yeah.
Does anybody like scotch?
Yeah. It's all up here.
So part of our story is we, can you see that?
Hold it right in front of right in the midsection of your chest.
Oh,
like right here. There we go.
Oh, hell.
Oh, my goodness.
So this is what we're calling our Brotherhood edition. And part of that story is when we were learning about this industry, we went to Scotland and learned how to make some scotch over there. And we made a scotch with our friends at Wolfburn in north end of Scotland. And it's been aging in bourbon barrels for 10 years. And we went back to Scotland. I think it was right. I remember when I met you fellas, that was in April. So yeah, I had just it was classified mission. I had just come back like a week or two prior to meeting you, Marty and Toby from Scotland with our team and
right.
Picked those 10-year-old barrels and got that bottled up and that's going to be something here that we will have at our own distillery as one of our special limited releases.
So that question got answered really nice for me and James Morgan. A lot of people might not, but I am, and my dad for sure. Yes. Yeah, man. So we've got the distillery opening. We've got all kinds of stuff coming. Are you going to play with, Mark? I asked you this in April, and you said you thought you knew, but you needed to keep quiet. And if that's still the case now, we totally understand. Are you looking at maybe tapping into finished barrel stuff?
I think they're talking. Yeah, my understanding is our team's talking about some of these different things and maturing our bourbon in some different woods and some finishing casks. But we enjoy some of those as well, and that'll be some of the innovation aspects that we do over the years with that.
That's something you can toy with for your distillery only releases too, when you start dealing with finished barrels. Yeah.
But we got a lot. We got a lot of room to grow, a lot of room to go left, right, middle. What's it going to be? We got everything from, we're trying to stay focused on our core three and just get that building open.
Are you going to move once and they may be there now? Do you have barrels at the new facility aging now that you've bought, or are they still where they need to be, or you just?
Yeah, they're still where they need to be. Okay. We will eventually build a rick house. Right now, we don't have that rick house on site, but we're going to build a rick house there, and we'll have some barrel coopers and show people what it takes to make barrels and some of the things that we're doing there. And as we get open and going, we're going to, right now, as we start out, I'm told we're going to do, tours by appointment only, and, limited times for that as we grow and get our feet under us. We ask people just be patient with us. You're talking about something, Mo. We have as a company, we have like 20 employees. I'm wearing many hats. I mean, you guys have learned that, I think, from meeting me up there and just the things we're doing. Everybody's rowing hard, see something, do something, get after it. That culture, as a veteran from our special operations roots, is, I still believe firmly very much in our company. People see what's got to get done, and we're just trying to get after it every day. How do you grow your company? How do you be strategic and achieve a goal? One day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, trying to improve our position and grow. So
I want to introduce you to somebody real quick. Mark in the chat. This is Matt Carter. He is one of the OGs of one of the best.
Old Glory.
Yeah, well, I was going to say one of the best whiskeys out of Tennessee, Old Glory, and they're going to dabble in some finish stuff. And he was asking, is there a finish you like and what you don't like?
One that's caught my attention, I guess, that we've done is Calvados barrels. You know, we went to Normandy for the 75th anniversary of D-Day and commemorated that, and we went back for the 80th. But that's where I discovered Calvados and really got to enjoy those. So that's my personal favorite as a finishing. Yeah.
All right. Question totally off the wall. Me, you, and Toby meet up in Lexington. We go to a bar. They're not smart enough to have Horse Soldier behind the bar yet. What are we pouring? What's your pour outside of Horse Soldier?
Well, first off, I pivot and I go find a bar. No, I go find a bar that has us.
You go. Good answer.
That's my first pivot. And my kids give me a hard time. They're like, Dad, can we please go to a restaurant that, you know, is every restaurant or meal work related? Because I like to visit establishments that are supporting us and carrying our brand. And maybe I take that a little too far with my own family sometimes, but I'm hard-headed and passionate about supporting small businesses that are supporting our company as well. So that's where I tend to, I ask for an updated list from our distributor frequently of what are the bars and restaurants that carry our bourbon. And yeah, I'll still secret shop it, you know.
You see what James said right here, Mark? He says he's still doing recon.
Yeah, I am. It's constant. It's
serious question. I know the Horse Soldier dealt with 2 160, but did you have any ops with the 3 160 or any direct?
Yeah, we dealt with in the case of our particular mission back then, we dealt with was it Bravo Company, second of the 160th. So that was where the MH-47s, you know. If you for your veterans that have flown in that, you know, it's a big, ugly, large beast, you know, dual rotors, but I absolutely love that aircraft as the workhorse, you know, the F-350 of Afghanistan, the Middle East, to get over the mountains and those distances and speeds. And but I enjoy working with the 160th. I think most of us did. I've got friends, there are warrant officers over there, friends of officers and NCOs. And if I hadn't gone special forces, I like to think that I would have been a Night Stalker. I could have got through flight school. But my hat's off to those guys. They are some of the best pilots in the world, I believe, bar none.
Mark, talk a little bit real quick about what Toby has on screen. That's the get up for the event.
Yeah, so that's our flyer for our July 3rd and 4th pro bull riding coming up there in Somerset at the Horse Soldier Bourbon Farms, Horse Soldier Farms. Just on the southwest of town there on Slate Branch Road. We're going to have professional bull riding. We'll be the only sanctioned pro bull riding event July 3rd and 4th weekend. Gates open at 5. We got bull riding starts at 7. We're supposed to have 30 to 35 top bull riders coming in. And then we're going to 9:30. We got a country music concert there with Chris Jansen on Friday night, and on Saturday night it's the duo Low Cash is our concert performer, followed by some fireworks, you know, capping it off by 11 o'clock and getting people safely on their way home. But we're going to have invite people to check us out, horsesoldierfarms.com for tickets. Come see us. We'll have, I'm trying to think what else with that. So we got some activation zone, food vendors. We're going to have, you know, Miller Coors is sponsoring it. So we got a couple beer trucks, and we'll have a couple Horse Soldier bourbon bars there for everybody to enjoy. And, you know, what everybody wants, hot dogs and hamburgers and barbecue and ice cream for the kids, everything as part of that to commemorate the 250th anniversary. Yeah, it's going to surprise you. It's going to surprise you. Come see us.
I heard somebody's phone go off. I don't know if somebody got a text. I don't know if it's not me.
So no bourbon slushies for the kids? I mean,
yeah, working on that one. Yeah, I think we're gonna, you know, may have a bagpiper. We may have some skydivers.
Oh, wow.
We may have a little flyover, weather permitting. Come on out, come see us.
A flyover. You'd be a little more specific there.
There may be an aircraft or two fly over.
There'll be something in the air.
I was going to say, you know, Fort Campbell is not that far away.
They're not that far away. That's right. I asked for a B-2 bomber, but I think they're kind of busy. You know,
yeah. Such a cool aircraft. Holy moly. You were talking about the dual rotor, and people don't realize how, you know, what a big helicopter that is, but how fast it is.
Yeah.
You know, the dual rotor, you know, that thing moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Marty, are we ready to cut Mark loose so he can go get some shut-eye?
Yeah, he's got to go. Mark, check your text real quick. I don't know if anybody might have sent you a question. I think me or Toby might have.
Not me.
Something. I don't know. No, what?
Marty's looking for favors.
But anyway, guys, check out the Distillery. July 1st through the 4th. Huge thing going on. I may see if I can't get Jenny in the car and we just be there, meet Toby and Trey and everybody there, because I think this is going to be fantastic. And we're not, as in Legends of the Oak, done with Mark. I'll just say that. We're going to keep going, and we've got some good stores.
He may be done with us, but
yeah, I don't blame him after this shit for sure.
I appreciate it. I hope this is the start of a long relationship here. Yeah. We, like I said, I have enjoyed meeting people all over the country. You know, I love getting people texting me. Somebody texted me from, I don't know, Michigan the other day. They were in a Hilton hotel, and the bar had, you know, our straight and our barrel strength on the back bar, you know, so you might start to see it if you're flying American Airlines. I know we're in American Airlines lounges, Morton's Steakhouse. It goes on and on. Nice. You know, ask for it. I appreciate that. If you want to support our brand, please ask for it at your favorite bar or restaurant or at your local liquor store. But just want to give a little shout out here to a Command Sergeant Major McLeod. I was told to say hello. A little sip, buddy. A little tip of the glass.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Thank you for doing that. He means the world to me.
Appreciate that. Appreciate him.
All right.
Yep. He's got
Mark. Any last words? Last announcements for the folks watching?
Last announcements. No, it's just you know, we all serve in many ways. Not everybody's, you know, in uniform or in the military, but we got law enforcement teachers. My wife's a career teacher. You know, everybody serves their community in some way, or your family, your friends, your business, or whatever. Just go do good things. Go do good things. Do it well.
Well said. Well said.
Well, Mark, I can't thank you enough for your time tonight, buddy. I know you had an event to get to before you got here, and I felt guilty that you had to do all that. And I said, hey, man, just let me know if we need to do it another night. And he's like, I'm tied up, and so am I. I know.
I was there, but I was like, we got to do this. We got to do this. I met you guys, and you reached out, and I appreciate that. And I'll be honest with you, the next 2 weeks like this aren't going to be any better for me. I know we're going to be extremely busy. We got friends and coworkers and former teammates and fans coming into town here in short 2 weeks, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
if there's anything we can do to, whether, come down to the distillery and do a live like this, at the distillery, we're happy to do it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
If we can work out that weekend at some point, I know it's going to be chaos, but we can do it on our own outside without anybody being bothered or something. But yeah, let's see what we can come up with, because when we met Mark, me and Toby walked in blind and had no idea what we were getting into with Horse Soldier. And then it just literally, I'll just be honest, outside of the bourbon, changed my perspective. And I'd never, ever had the opportunity to meet somebody that took 9/11 under their belt and started making things right the best they could for the people that were devastated. And I think that's a whole lot of people. So Mark, I just want to say thank you, buddy, before I get real teary-eyed. There we go.
I do want to also point this out, since you kind of brought it back to that of, we got some special bourbons here, we've tasted through, we talked about some of those, but yeah, it's hard to believe it's the 25-year anniversary of 9/11 is coming up.
Yes.
And I know myself and my teammates and a number of other veterans are going to be in New York City for the 9/11 commemorations. And then, on past that, it's just, I can't believe it's been 25 years already. I still think I'm in the 30s, but just to all of you that have served our country, your community, your family, little toast to everyone. And here's to the future as well. Future of Horse Soldier Bourbon.
Yeah, buddy. Cheers, Mark. Thank you for everything. Reach out if we can ever do anything for you. My voice is a little cracked up right now, so I'm going to let Toby go ahead.
No, I appreciate it. And, you were talking about 9/11. It's unfortunate, but every, I don't know, let's say 20, 30 years, there's an event where everybody remembers where they were, whether it's, losing John F. Kennedy, or, 9/11, Pearl Harbor, and it's unfortunate that we have those. But everybody, that was, is at probably 30 years of age or more remembers where they were on that morning. And so thank you, sir, for your service. And, I look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon and working with you and Marty on, some future collaborations.
We're excited. We're really excited. It's kind of a pivotal moment for us. Like I said, of proud of what we've done in service, our careers, what we've had, and getting on with the next chapter of our life here to, live the American dream we've been defending, and grow this brand and enjoy life a little more. So,
that's what we're going to do.
Thank you guys so much for allowing me to share.
Good night, Mark. Thank you.
Talk to you soon, man.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Good night.
Wow. I don't have words right now for.
I know.
It's not every day you get to have one of the American heroes of trying to get the world back on track.
That's right.
After such a devastating event, than that guy and his team. I'm not going to forget his team.
And the thing, when you talk to, I know when I talk to my brother, and then when we got the opportunity to talk to Mark or Greg Keeley at Larrikin.
Yeah.
These are folks that have been on the front line for the purpose of preserving, democracy, with all of its pros and cons, preserving freedom. And they have we think we understand geopolitics and, what's going on, in the Middle East, or what's going on, in Eastern Europe or whatever. These guys have a whole different, much more informed perspective of that. Dan Trout, same thing. we all start talking our armchair politics, not having served, but then you talk to somebody who's served, and they almost look at us kind of like, oh, you're so cute, because it's a whole different, much more informed perspective when you talk to somebody who's been on the front lines.
Well, there's Toby, we got a whole lot more of the story because we had 3.5 hours with Mark at night, just what they had to tell their families when they were finding out they had to go over there, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That, they had no idea what they were walking into. It was, I don't want to say suicide mission, but I think that came up in Mark's talk a little bit, that they had to look at it like they had no idea what they were walking into with the help they had from the locals and all that stuff. But anyway, it's just hard to cram all that in an hour and 15 minutes. And I just want to thank Mark for spending the time to do it. But about the bourbon, it's really good. We all know that the 10-year is bangers. Not always means buying back up when you can. Sipping on that now. I'm sipping on that 138, I think is what it is. No, 135.6. I got to be careful.
They're 10 years old, and I know that he has to be careful what he says.
Sure.
But, they come from a very well-known distillery located in Bardstown, Kentucky, that isn't Bardstown Bourbon Company, that has a lot of high-aged bourbon they're putting out. And, for 10-year bourbon, I think those single barrels are normally coming in around 120. So they're, $12 a year. So they're, kind of right in the wheelhouse where they should be price-wise.
Which liquor barn had them? Well, there's some that still may, and Toby's the liquor barn expert. I'll let him talk if he knows of any.
I don't know Gun Hand Luke, I don't think, but what's that?
Lance is texting me some shit. Lance doing his thing. Go ahead.
Gun Hand Luke, if you want to reach out to me in I'm trying to figure out how we do that here. Where's the freaking private? Don't we have like private chat? Yeah. Well, no, he can't do that because he's not on the stream with us.
You can email me, whiskeyNose21@gmail.com. Email me and I'll move it on to Toby.
There you go. And, I can help you find a bottle. Yeah.
160 guys, 5th group, 1st group. Yep. Hands down. Guys, we'll keep the giveaway going for just a little bit because there's 2 signed bottles by Mark and very special.
Yep. Yeah, so don't miss out, folks. This is the Distillery barrel strength, but it is delicious. And as you can see, I've got 2 of these going out tonight. You got Mark and, his team's designation, ODA 595.
I got you, Lance. Yeah, I may have to. Got you, Chris. I got everybody. I got about 3 Venmos when I was about to lose my shit. And yeah, Mark, thank you so much. He's texting me. Awesome, buddy. That'll be another great location to go visit, everybody. Once we get that point in July, if they get open, if you can make it, great. If not, maybe, Toby, we talked about doing maybe a little Legends of the Oak meetup, and that might be a pretty cool location to do that.
Yeah.
And,
and the thing about, I think Somerset might be a little small for like, a Mash and Journey meetup, but I think for, if Legends of the Oak wanted to have a meetup, maybe in the spring or something like that, Somerset could easily have enough shit to do. and like, and it's not that far. Somerset is due south of Lexington, so by about 90 minutes. So it's not, it's not a difficult trek, whether it be to Bardstown, whether it be up to Louisville or whatever it is. So
let me do this real quick. Here we go. So I cracked during the stream. Nico at work got me this Evan Williams, and I am quite surprised how good that is.
it's fantastic.
It is.
So last night, Dan and I were tasting that against the OGD 11, the 7-year. And I think we both felt that the OGD may be slightly darker, but that the Evan Williams was just better. So, hey, but don't sleep. I know that you're the proud recipient of some Matt Carter.
There he is. There's my man.
The man, the myth from Old Glory.
Thank you, Steve. What's going on, brother?
Can you hear us?
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going?
That's good, man. Just trying
to
to
buddy.
get our
Good. Glad to have
emotions
you.
back in tap after all that. That
was a cool stream.
Yeah, that's twice me and Toby's got to experience that with Mark, and it's just every time we do it, it's just
Yeah,
it is what it is. But anyway,
Yeah. How are you guys?
good man. What's going on with Old Glory?
You?
I'm doing good. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Been just doing a bunch of bottling. That's about it.
I saw the Mash and Journey picks are hitting Friday, so you've got that stuff packed up, ready to go.
Yes. Pretty excited to see what people think about it. I know it's going to go out.
Well, that was a top tier pick team. Not only is it top, just fantastic whiskey, but there's a top tier pick team picking it. And so I think there's going to be, I think they're going to go quick.
That was, I know that Tennessee whiskey he has is a monster. So I'm pretty excited.
Guys, I'm going to leave you for just a second. I got to go check the plumbing before I float out of here. I'll be right back. Make sure it's still working in there, so I'll be back in just a second. So
yeah, absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Does a fat kid fart?
Hey, I got my delivery yesterday. My hand delivery.
Now, have you got to try it yet?
Yeah. I have a pour. Actually, no, this is the unopened bottle. Shit, why is this one sitting here? The open bottle's back over there on the shelf. Yeah, I had a pour last night, and I put it up against a Stag, and I tried it backwards, frontwards, and I'm taking the Old Glory Double Oak over. I think I did it against the Stag 26A, which has been getting some really good marks. So, kudos.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never expect that. I probably haven't had a Stag since maybe the A batch of last year or 2024.
Really? They're staying pretty consistent, I think.
Yeah. The last bottle I bought was batch 12.
Hell, I don't know, Dad.
It's been a while.
18.
Marty, which barrel is that, Marty?
242.
What? Really? Where'd you get that one?
Here.
Okay. All right.
I got barrel 144.
Okay. And I've got 3 different barrels, and I'm going to tell everybody right now, if the price is right. If you want to try some different barrels, go for it. They're all good, but I'm not, at least the 3 barrels that I have, there's not a big difference. I with the 3 that I have, I don't feel like I really needed to buy the other 2. But anyway, it is what it is.
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I understand why they have it at such a low proof, the regular offering, but I mean, if they release that stuff at cash strength, I mean, there would be less bottles on the shelf. I think, just because it takes a lot to water that stuff down, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the flavor is just better. I mean, I can imagine the tick they saw on sales, when they released that. So
yeah. Well, and the fact of the matter is, all these distilleries right now are probably motivated by converting barrels of brown liquor to cash rather than sitting on it and paying taxes on it. And so whether it goes out at a lower proof or goes out at, this proof or whatever, I mean, we all know there's an abundance of barrels right now. So whatever it takes to move that shit out of the rick houses and turn, the investment back into cash money is a benefit to them.
I'm pretty excited to see what gets released in the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's some age stuff sitting. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, hellfire in 10 years, your stuff.
We have, I know I mentioned this the other night, but we have a bunch of column barrels turning 5 in 6 days now. So pretty excited to get into those. But no, I mean, Buffalo Trace is releasing, Eagle Rare 25 and 30 and, so on and so on. I can't imagine to see a Bardstown 15-year or a Bardstown 18-year or something crazy, or a Heaven Hill 30 or something. I don't know. It could be cool.
Website 3G. Have to find some Old Glory. I will Gunhand. I will be in Clarksville this weekend. Awesome.
Nice.
Be sure you eat while you're there.
Yeah. I may not be around Saturday. My wife gets home from Sweden, so probably won't go anywhere that day. But Sunday, I'll be down at Leapers.
So nice.
Yeah, gonna go hang out down there. A couple of guys from the distillery are going down, so we're gonna go hang out and say hello.
Oh, really, Dad? Okay. Larry Nickel gave me a 10 when we saw him 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm good with that. We'll do that at 11. Dad, let me show you this real quick. This is the 250th anniversary release. I can get you one if you want it. It's the Evan Williams 250. These are all single barrels, and the proof is a little bit higher than the regular ones. This was barreled on December 15th of 18. Barrel 242, bottled on March 2nd of this year, and the proof on it is 117.7. So that's what this is.
They're all the same proof, Mark.
Yeah, this is one of the prettiest. This one and the McBrayer, I think, are the two best. And if anybody hasn't seen that, it's this McBrayer for the special edition, and I'll show that too. It's gorgeous.
Yep, great job they did.
I've got a couple of these, so Dad. You can have one of those if you want it. What's cool about this? I found something out last night when Jason. I don't think we were private. We were on Dan's stream, and a couple of Jason's barrels that they were looking at ended up in that blend, and so did ours. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, our second and third. At least our second and third wound up in there. We didn't go any deeper down the list than that. I mean, we started with 10. So, but at least 2 and 3 wound up in there.
Oh, Glory's biscuits and gravy are fire. I can only imagine.
That they are.
When you get to work, Matt, how do you not eat all day? Or do you? It's okay if you say yes. I'm not going to judge.
I do
He
eat
drinks all day. He doesn't eat.
Well, I mean,
he just drinks.
I do eat at the distillery just about every day. So this it's probably not very healthy, but I like my burger salads. You know, just a salad with a plain burger patty on top, or burgers. I love the burgers.
Yeah.
But we have a seasonal menu, so they're always bringing in something new. Right now, we have a sausage platter that has like grilled onions.
I got a dumb question. I'm assuming, because I've not been there yet, and not that I would figure it out after I got there, because it's none of my damn business. But do you have like an executive chef and like a sous chef? Is that how you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's legit.
James Lay was calling. James Lay was shouting out.
It's here too, man.
Yeah, and they did a great job. I mean, with this package, I haven't cracked it yet, but James Lay in chat says it's a great bottle. So that'll be my next pour, James.
Guys, if you haven't yet, last chance. We'll get these 2 bottles given away here in just a few minutes, and we're going to close it out. Toby, do you want to talk about 2 weeks from now, or do we want to keep that on the down low, or what do you want to do?
No, I think we should dust that off.
Okay. Go ahead.
So
you're the coordinator.
Legends of the Oak. You know, everybody that's here probably remembers that. Just a few short months ago, we did 3 consecutive. Well, not quite consecutive, but 3 out of 4 weeks. We picked some final picks of McBrayer. We took 5 and narrowed it down to 1, and
I got it.
There he is. So we're doing that again in 2 weeks. We have our very next pick is going to be with Blackwood Bourbon, which is an NDP out of Versailles, Kentucky. Everything they do is sourced, and they have a kind of a proprietary toasting method that they do. The owner of Blackwood, and I kid you not, this may be the very best guy's name ever. His name is Guinness McFadden. And Guinness McFadden and his barrel manager will be joining us live as Legends of the Oak goes through the 4 final samples and picks, the one. And if all goes according to plan, there's going to be maybe a special location reveal during that live stream. And so we'll have some of our some of the usual suspects on with us and tasting through some, great Blackwood bourbon.
So there you go. Next week, I will be on the greatest family beach trip that we do every year. Toby might do something. It's not out of the equation. We'll see. And if I can jump on, we can. I'll be gone all next week. But for Whiskey Nose, we'll see what happens. Toby may come up with a great plan, and I can't stand myself, and I'll have to jump on. But we'll see what happens. But hey, Jay, sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to keep you.
Thanks for jumping on, Jason. Awesome.
Okay, yeah. I was listening to your stream the whole night. I just I get real emotional talking about it because I was there. I was in New York when 9/11 happened, so I have a lot of respect for this guy. So,
where were you geographically when it happened?
I was probably. I mean, I didn't work in the financial district, but I was in downtown. I was literally right next to the bridge in downtown Queens.
Okay, so you were across the river.
Yeah. So basically, if we went if we went in the back of our property, we could see everything happening. We literally watched everything happen as it happened. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that smell as long as I live. It was the next day. It was the next day when we. It was kind of weird because I remember going to work the next day, so 9/12, and somehow I like made it past one of the, because at some point coming from Queens, they started blocking they didn't want anybody coming into the city with the whole cleanup. Somehow I got past it, like just when they started like blocking everyone and turning everyone around to go back to Long Island. So I made it to work. I just remember getting out of the car and smelling. I don't want to get into
Everything.
I don't want to get into detail, but it's a smell I'll never forget. And for the guys at Horse Soldier and any of the other firefighters that were down there, and obviously the first responders, I'm sure they smelled much worse, and will probably always be thinking about that. I can't believe 25 years is coming up. It's wild.
I didn't even think about it until he said it. That it's been, And like I said, all of us on this screen, we remember where we were.
Yeah.
When that happened, that's our. Do you remember where you were moment?
Yeah, it was kind of like one of those weird like things where we heard a plane had hit, and as news started trickling out, we were, we heard.
We all thought like I don't mean to jump in, but like when the plane hit, we're thinking some dumbass little private plane.
Yeah, that's what
doing. It was the second plane where everybody went, wait a minute.
Well, yeah, it was like when the news started first coming out that it was actually a large commercial jet that hit. When that like started trickling out and everybody had that oh shit moment, it's like right then and there is when the second plane hit. Yeah, and then everybody realized, holy crap, we're under attack.
The first plane hit, and I had a pre-construction conference. I worked for DOT then.
Yeah,
I had a pre-construction conference at like 10. And when the first plane hit, I left the bedroom thinking some dumbass just flew a 2-seater into the plane, and I went and got in the shower. From the time I got out of the shower and came back, the TV was still on. The second plane that hit, and I'm like, okay, this is this. Yeah,
the crazy thing was too is that it was a beautiful day that day. Not a cloud in the sky. I remember it like it was yesterday. Not a cloud in the sky. It was a perfect day. So for anybody to fly a private plane and hit the building was kind of crazy.
That day I found out I was going to be a dad for the second time. I was about 15 miles from the Pentagon.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah. People forget all the, everyone focuses on the Twin Towers, and I get it. But people don't remember or tend to forget that the Pentagon was attacked.
And then
United 93. Yeah. United 93. A lot of people lost their lives actually taking down a plane that was headed for the Washington Capitol. So there, it was a crazy day. And I'll never forget, I had a coworker who realized what was happening, and then he just like it just hit him that, oh my God, my sister works in the Twin Towers. And luckily for her, and there was so many stories like that day. Where somebody I missed my train that morning, or I should have been canceled. Trip was canceled. Like, it was crazy. So yeah, he said that his sister had actually missed the morning train and didn't get there on time. And actually, once she got to the station, it was hell had already broken loose. It was crazy. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys having him on and talking through it. I was listening and just kind of taking it all in, listening to the story.
Well, to get Mark's. Me and Toby were very, like I said, we touched on it a couple times in the stream. We had him for 3.5 hours that night. We had him for about 1 hour and 15 tonight, which was fantastic. But we got everything from, his pre 9/11 experience to 9/11 to being deployed back over there to quote, not knowing what they were walking into, trying to recon, find out where the Taliban were hiding, that kind of thing. And then we talked about whiskey, our passion. And then literally Jason and Matt, at that point, I speak for me, and I think I speak for Toby, the whiskey really didn't matter. We're sitting here with somebody that was first put over there to clean this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And I know me and Toby were just sitting there in awe, and like I said, we had 3.5 hours to ask him these questions. That a lot of that stuff we couldn't get into tonight, but watch the movie. That's why I brought up the point, because he told me and Toby off to the side, like, I think there was a fight scene at the end of the movie that he said that wasn't quite right. You remember that, Toby? It was like, it kind of made it a movie, but not quite
right.
But it doesn't matter.
But like what he said, is that the movie was a bit of an amalgamation of it was the first month of their deployment, but it included a lot of other anecdotes from other special forces teams. But that's what Hollywood does. And, and to his point, nothing in the movie didn't happen. It just didn't happen to his team, in the first month or whatever. But yeah, those guys just have a whole different outlook.
I had a lot of buddies that were firefighters that thankfully didn't lose their lives. Obviously, you had 343 firefighters that did, unfortunately, and they knew some of those guys. Obviously, it's such a brotherhood.
Yes,
but also, I had not a family member, but he was kind of family adjacent. It was basically this guy. His name is Vito. Real Italian.
Forget about it.
Yeah, police officer. He was, he was actually, I think he got upgraded to the FBI at some point, but him and all his whole squad, his whole precinct was down there cleaning up. And he was part of a movie called Vito After. It was a independent, It was independent film. And I think you can watch it online. I think it's called Vito After. It's basically Vito's story of, the cleanup and all the emotion you go through. But really it was about, they call it 9/11 cough, where a lot of these guys got a buildup of cement and stuff that they were breathing in during the cleanup.
Yeah.
And, cleaning up all the ash, because, to describe the smell and the electric burning and just the smell of death, almost, you could smell it in the air. So these guys were inhaling all that. Plus they were inhaling all the chemicals from all the buildings and the dust and everything. And it was getting into their lungs. So it was kind of like these guys didn't want to hear about it. The movie is basically about how a lot of these officers were dealing with it, probably still dealing with it to this day, this type of cough, because they have this layer of literal powder in their lungs from breathing this shit all in. And how, these guys are very proud. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to go to the doctor. They don't want to know what's in their lungs, but it's about them, this movie was made for them, to seek out treatment and get help and try to get some sort of treatment. So it was crazy to hear his stories too, because he was down there as well.
I remember that night, Mom wanted to go to church. Everybody had a last call church service the night of 9/11. I remember going with Mom, and just nobody knew what to think, what to pray, what to feel. Because, at that point, you had no idea who was
you didn't know what to
responsible.
feel. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, it was everybody was stunned. Yeah. I remember just going to my whole work crew. Because that night, President Bush came on TV and he was addressing the nation. And I remember even when he, finished, there wasn't really any applause. There was no, after everybody heard his statement, everybody was just stunned. It was wild. It was just so wild. And then it didn't, it took over 10 years to finally find bin Laden and kill his ass. So,
fucker.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think the more we don't forget about it, the more everybody, it'll never be forgotten. But
nope,
it needs to be a national recognized day.
Oh, for sure.
But those kind of things take time. I mean, Pearl Harbor Day wasn't, that didn't happen right away. And, so it'll take some time.
Have you seen? I'm just going to lighten the mood for a second. Have you seen Nate Bargatze talk about in his stand-up about history?
Yes.
He said, I didn't pay any attention. And for people that are watching,
Yeah.
Nate's like, I paid zero attention in school. I sucked in history. I paid, I didn't care. I just wanted to get through. And he's like, my wife and kids about 10 years ago turned on the movie Pearl Harbor. And he goes, I was sitting on the edge of my seat because I had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know anything about history. That's why every history movie I watch, edge of my seat.
No kidding, man.
Oh yeah, Bourbon Wrench, man. That was. You think about that, how unified everybody was at that particular moment. You hope for days like that again. It's tough.
Yes.
The Express.
Not only,
let's change.
not only,
go ahead, Toby.
it not only unified within our own country, but the outpouring of unanimity from other countries, Australia, Germany, Great Britain, all these countries just kind of going, we feel for you, we're here for you. That was just freaking awesome. And it sucks that it takes things like that to remind us and drag us out of the shit that we're mired in right now.
I know. Jason, are you excited about your release this Friday? Matt made the Tennessee whiskey sound like a real banger. Yeah, I'm actually writing the tasting notes right now for the post for Patreon. So just getting all the details ready, all my tasting notes.
Ben,
these will drop Friday. We're really excited for you guys to get your hands on some of this. I think Matt can definitely tell you that these are probably some of the best barrels that have come out of there. They're so good.
Yeah. That Tennessee whiskey is unbelievable. And
is that pot still?
Yeah, both are pot stilled.
Okay.
Yeah, both are pot still. 133 proof on the Tennessee whiskey. It is a dark. She's a dark lady.
Yeah, it's the highest proof that's ever been released.
She's hotter than two squirrels in a wool sock, right there.
And then our pot still.
Lord.
Our pot still bourbon is no slouch either, coming in 127.6. So,
yeah. And I love. I don't know if you've talked about it yet, Jason, but I love everything you've decided or talked about before on what you're going to do with it. So,
Double Oak's there. If it's not gone, when will the Double Oak be ready? Is it gone, Matt?
So the one that we released is gone. Batch 2 is probably just about ready to go. Probably got another month and a half maybe on it. So
perfect timing. About August.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have one that's being double oaked right now. That was a column still.
Yes.
Their column still, I'm telling you guys, their column still in a few years is going to be some of the best shit on the market. Yeah. Right now it's a little young. That's why, but we fell in love with the profile of this one. That's why we double oaked it, because we thought it could just use some extra oak influence. So we're leaving that all to Matt and the team over there to let us know when they think it's ready. So when it's ready, it's ready. So
yep, should be pretty excited.
Everyone's asking, when is it ready? I'm like, it's ready when it's ready, guys. I mean, when it tastes good, there's no timetable. That's the thing about finishing.
I'm also getting into your little special project this week. So,
very nice. Okay,
we definitely need to hop on a call one day and talk about some stuff. So,
okay, cool. Yeah, Gun Hand Luke there, column still whiskey. So they do pot and column still.
Yeah, I just got permission to throw two pot still and 2 column barrels in one of our containers. So I'm just want to experiment and see what happens. It could be good or it could be crap.
Wait. What do you mean in one of your containers? What do you mean? Like blend all 4 together or blend all 2 together?
So I want to take 2 of our 6 year. I want to take a bourbon and a Tennessee whiskey of pot and one of the column distillate. Throw it into a container and let it age for a year or whatever, and see what happens in the extreme heat. So. Again, it could make it terrible or it could be really good. So,
Toby, you ready?
I'm just proofing it right now. Give me like 60 seconds.
A lot of our, I think a lot of our young pot still barrels, like I think up to like barrel 200 actually sat in a Connex for at least one summer. So I think that extra heat on that pot still distillate and those Kelvin barrels just did those things magic.
Well, you had me at Kelvin.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
More.
pretty excited. And to kind of circle back a little bit, 9/11, I was in math class and I was in 5th grade. So,
Wow.
I remember being sent home from school. We watched it on TV for a little bit at school and just being sent home from school that day. Not really. I was young enough to understand, but not old enough to understand, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. You didn't know how to process that. You didn't know how to process that as a kid.
Yeah. So
It might be a good thing.
Yeah.
But I do. You're definitely correct on that one, Toby. I definitely remember where I was that day. So
Yeah.
It's funny, the generation before remember when Kennedy got shot, and then we remember
That's right.
9/11.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and then the generation before that was Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
But Toby's more a historian than I'll ever remotely talk about. But
And there's a couple other ones. I mean, the space shuttle.
yeah, yep.
I remember where I
out of
was
school for
when
snow
this-
that day and watched it. Yep.
I remember that. I remember when Reagan got shot.
Yep.
Things like it sucks that those are the things we remember. It's the shitty stuff.
Shuttle, yeah, guys in chat.
but anyway, no, I'm excited.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say I'm super excited for the release Friday, and definitely excited to see what what people think of it. I mean, you're going to send it out to a lot of folks, or a lot of people are going to get it. So I'm excited. So
yeah, a lot of people have been kind of waiting for these. We've been talking about them. I think a lot of folks, it's going to be their first chance to try Old Glory. So the fact that we're bringing you to some two pretty big whiskeys here. I'm going to kind of take a deep dive into the tasting notes so I could break these things down. But I mean, they're flavor bombs. They're absolute flavor bombs.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, Jay, tell us what you've got going on tomorrow. We're
man.
going to run the wheel here pretty quick, but what have you got going on tomorrow?
Oh, on the live stream?
Yeah.
I mean, the most exciting thing is finally
Wild
shoring up the wild card. I got the other samples from Bo's Wine Guy, so it'll be Jeff Wack versus Bo's Wine Guy to see who gets the wild card into the finals for Blendageddon. And then it looks like Blendageddon will be at some point in July, I'm hoping. I'm also trying to figure out how to do the bottle. I have 20-something bottles I'm giving away in the fundraiser.
When's the drop dead deadline if somebody wanted to put some bottles into the giveaway?
I mean, it's got to be the next week or two, just because it's. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can do this because UPS has changed all their shipping things, so it's a little bit harder to ship now. So I'm trying to figure out how to do all that.
I told you that I would donate some bottles. I need to send you a couple of barrel 95s to throw in there.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Matt.
Matt, just don't send them to Jason. Just hold them and let him tell you who to send them to. That way, it's not done twice. Seriously,
we've been bottling so much Club Duck that we haven't picked any single barrels in a while. So those almost made it out onto the shelf yesterday, but they didn't. So
just exactly what he said. If you want to. Matt, if you're in the live stream tomorrow, just fill out that form. I'm going to put the link up again tomorrow. Fill out that form as far as what you're going to be providing, and we'll definitely get you situated.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll probably do some of our McBrayer picks.
Yeah. Also, good news for the Blitz. We just got Highwire confirmed today. So we got Highwire Distilling's coming.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I told them, they're like, so what do you guys, do you like just like the shelfers? You want them to bring some weird shit? I'm like, bring some weird shit. These are whiskey.
Bring the weird shit. Yeah.
Yes, all of it. and some other stuff too.
I tell you what, I was laughing last night when we were talking about Elkwood. We'll just leave it at that. You know,
Yeah.
what to bring.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That was
Did
kinda fun.
Jason, if you need anybody else at the Blitz to do tastings or anything like that, I'm available. So
Yeah, I was, we have a couple of new brands coming out. I'd love to have you guys again, but what we're talking about for next year, I think might make up for that, if you know what I mean.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good.
all right, Marty, you ready to do this?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna pour a little McBrayer 250th.
Okay. What am I going
As we do it.
here? I'm going to do a little. I'm going to do a little Old Glory Double Oak.
It's downstairs. Damn it! I gotta get my shit.
America.
Well,
Jason, I also have one of those for you too. So
Oh, sweet, man. That'd be awesome.
Toby, bring it up when you're ready, and we'll go with it. We'll let our guests.
All right.
Hey, real quick, while
quick.
Go for it.
Matt, do you remember how many cases we got out of these two picks?
So the Tennessee whiskey, it was 80 bottles.
How many?
It was 80 bottles.
Oh, that's it. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, it was a low yield.
Sorry, guys. It's a shorty.
Got on the upper tier.
So 13.3 cases is what you should have got.
Okay.
It's a good day to be an epic drummer.
On the other one, it was a higher yield. It was around 180 bottles, so I think there was a lot more cases, around 20 or so.
Okay. Cool.
I know
Appreciate
Devin probably has those numbers, but
Yeah,
I
I just needed a rough estimate just to kind of give the guys. So
yeah, the bourbon there's a ton more, but that Tennessee whiskey, she was a shorty.
yeah, I know it felt a little light. I remember you saying. So it is what it is. I'm a little notorious for that. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm proud of you for getting barrels out of that stack. So
Yeah.
Thanks for thinning the stack, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, we have to thank Adam. He's the one that climbed up and got those damn things. So
yeah, that stack was specifically saved for our first 10-year products.
yeah.
So you should definitely come back and squeeze some more out of that stack. That'd be fun.
Well, look, if we get a good reception from these, I will be back sooner than later for sure.
It'd be fun. That was a fun day. I know everybody there, but they had a lot of fun too. And so, yeah. Anyway,
All right, guys, do your roll with the giveaway. Let's go. Let's give away some stuff.
All right, let's do it. All right, share screen. Window. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it's that. There we go. Okay. All right. Let me know what we're doing, Marte.
All right. Let's see. Matt, how many times do you want to shuffle that?
let's do 4.
All right. Let her rip to you.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Is this bottle number 1?
Yes, sir. This big shout out to Toby for getting these done.
Greg McDonald.
Greg McDonald.
Hold on. I got to make note of this shit.
All right, Jay. How many times?
Let's go 7.
I was going to say they 1 and 5, but I figured, okay.
Oh, between 1 and 5?
No. I said the next 1 and 5.
7 is fine.
Okay.
All right. So did we have anything else? Anybody put any sample packs in, anything like that? I can't remember.
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay, here we go. Second bottle. Here we go.
Thank you, guys.
Round and round it goes. What stops the JP.
Jeff.
JP.
Awesome.
Marty, I'll throw in a sample pack. tomorrow and Thursday,
Oh.
I'm going to be in the barrel house looking for about 12 different single barrels. So,
All right, I'll say Matt's sample pack.
Okay. All right. Remove. Here we go for Matt's sample pack.
Thank you, Matt. And the next pick will be a 4-ounce sample of Jason's cheesy gold foil.
James Lay.
dang. That's awesome.
I'll get that to you, Matt.
I'm gonna have to open that bottle.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm so bad. Kevin O'Malley sent me and Toby a sample pack of turkey stuff, and I'd had it for like 10 days.
Yeah.
And I opened it and I saw the turkey stuff. I was like, all right, some cool turkey stuff to go through. And it was like end of last week. I don't know, it's like Thursday night. And I said, he's like, so Kevin's like, so what'd y'all think of the 16 turkey? And I was like, I'd like to try it. He goes, go look at your box, idiot. And I had a damn sample of it in it. I didn't even know it. I am so bad. I was like, yeah. And so I tore it up. Yeah, everything that it should be was there. So
Yeah.
I haven't opened mine either, but but I got to try it that night. Mike Turner was at the event, and he came blowing back to the hotel by my house, and we sat outside, and so I'm waiting because I have high hopes that I'm going to get one, and so hopefully the sample will it'll be important, but it'll be a lot less important here in the very near future.
real quick before we go, James Lay put in chat, we need to toast everybody that was part or affected of 9/11, including Mark and the crew. So let's do that real quick, guys. Here's a toast to all those people.
First responders.
Yep. Thank
That's
you,
right.
James.
Military, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Cheers.
9/11.
Cheers.
All right, guys. We're going to close it out. Matt, Jason, hang for just a second. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Me and Toby knew that this was going to be special after the night that we spent with Mark. We had no idea we were walking into an official American hero leader when we met him that night. And literally that night, the whiskey took second place. And I'm sure y'all caught on to that.
It did. Marty and I were in the liquor. This is the liquor barn, like half a mile from my house. And they take real good care of me there. And the store manager came over. Marty and I were in there, and he says, "Hey, you guys want to come back tonight? We have this event. I'll comp you," because it was a paid event. And so we went out and did our thing. We came back, and I just thought there was going to be some college kid pouring horse soldier that didn't really know anything. They were just paid to sample it out. I didn't have any, because that's what a lot of that stuff is. And we walk in, and it kind of went from here to here to here to here to here. Then we realized we didn't have horse soldier. We had the horse soldier, the commanding officer of that 12-man team. And it was unbelievable. And as everybody else that was there began to realize that, the questions really quickly drifted away from bourbon and talking just about service and dedication and honor and integrity and all of these great questions. It was, and like I said, his 60 or 90-minute evening turned into like 3.5 hours. It was crazy.
And his family showed up. We got to meet his wife, his kids.
And they just sat in the back, and they were really polite, but they were there to basically drag dad, off to the hotel and for dinner and everything. Yeah.
And man, it all starts with a conversation. That's the best part about whiskey, man.
It's just another, and I speak for Jason. I know I speak for Toby and Matt's getting on board with the whiskey community here on YouTube. But, Jason's been going for almost 9 years, Jay, now. I guess it was 8, and I'm going on 6. And just, we had low expectations when we started of what possibly could this lead to for this passion that we have. And that night with Mark, I'll just skip ahead, barrel picks and stuff that you dream about and things like that. And the friends you've made and being on other people's channels, that kind of thing, are just like dreams you have. But when that night we met Mark, it just really put a perspective on things and just gave you a night that you'll never forget. And not trying to make it weird or anything, but that I think the Lord put us there for a reason that night. And I'm just thankful that we got to be part of that. So anyway,
Jason, when is I thought you started in 2016. No?
Eagle Rare, first one.
20.
I was going to say.
No, I first moved to Ohio in 2016. I started in 2018.
Okay, so you're at 8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Of the 10 years. But, an interesting thing, I mean, with Horse Soldier being in Somerset, it will certainly be an interesting conversation about having them maybe at the Blitz next year. Just as one of those brands.
I mean, shoot, we could have them this year maybe if they're up for it. Just because, I haven't heard from Broad Branch is out there. I haven't heard from them back yet.
Oh, come on.
And also, who's the other brand that I'm waiting to hear back from that you guys wanted? Broad Brand. Oh yeah, and Bell of Dayton, Dietrich.
Oh,
I haven't heard from them either. So
I want to hear. I would love both of them to be there. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So,
but the other thing too is, I think that what they're doing in Somerset is not that dissimilar than what Old Glory has done. Down where they are, they're creating a destination and a special experience, whether it's distillery, tasting room, gift shop, restaurant, all that kind of, event space, all that kind of stuff. And I think it'll be an interesting, thing to look at, I mean,
that's what I've said. The brands that can offer up not only great whiskey, but, kind of a full experience overall, whether it be hospitality, food, just overall experience, bringing people together. And if you do that from a grassroots perspective, on top of making great whiskey, you have something special.
That's right.
All right, guys, let's close it out. Matt, Jason, stay for just a second. Guys, next week, we'll see what Toby has in store. I hope he does something. I really do. I'm kind of planting the seed. See if he can come up with something. I'll be at the beach with the family. I will probably jump on. Who am I kidding? Because it's 9:00. Everybody goes to bed. My family at 9. So
yeah, but that means I'm at the helm, so I don't have to let Marty on. He can want to.
Well, I am an admin, so you don't have a choice. So let's just say that. But the next week, guys. Next week after that, what is that date, Toby? The 30th with Blackwoods.
Yeah, something like that.
2 weeks from today, we'll have
2 weeks from the 30th. Yes. We're going to have Guinness McFadden and Zach, his barrel manager, on, and we are going to narrow it down from 4 to 1. And there may be
Blackwood bourbon,
some special reveals, that evening. So everybody needs to
tune in for that. We got the pit crew set up. Like I said, guys, we're going to rotate people in and out every time we do a pick, so everybody's a part of the Legends of the Oak. It's just something new we're trying to do and trying to get that going. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the Venmo PayPals. It helps tremendously keep this thing going. But a special thanks to Mark. A night we'll never forget. So I'll just say that. And guys, anything else before I go? Are we good?
Nope.
Anybody?
I think we're good.
All right, guys, like we always said, whiskey will not solve all your problems, but it's worth a shot. We'll see you at least in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.